Top stories tonight. President Tinubu gets bill proposing return to regional government on Friday. Appeal court quashes Yahya Bello's suit against EFCC boss. Federal government warns Labour of mass sacking over new minimum wage demands. And South Africa reports second Mpox death. Thank you for joining us. I'm Felicity Ezewieke. Let's begin by telling you that President Bola Tinubu will on Friday receive a draft bill seeking a return to a regional system of government for Nigeria. The proposed legislation, authored by a chieftain of the Yoruba Social-Cultural Association, Afenifere, Akin Fakmuhunda, seeks, among others, new extant laws to be cited as the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, New Governance Model for Nigeria Act 2024. The said bill was, however, disowned by the House of Representatives, whose spokesman, Aki Rotimi, and the chairman, Committee on Rules and Business, said had not been listed for deliberation in the ongoing moves to review the 1999 Constitution as amended. Fakmuhunda said on Thursday that the bill would be transmitted to the president on Friday. To discuss this, I'm joined now on the news by the initiator of the draft bill, Akin Fakmuhunda. Thank you very much for joining us. Do we have him?
Good evening.
Can you hear me, sir? Could you acknowledge again, please?
I can hear you. Good evening.
Okay. Good evening. Thank you for giving us your time. Let's just begin by just getting a background. Having practiced the federal system of government for over 50 years, coupled with agitation by states for resource control and some areas clamoring for state creation, how will this work really? Are you proposing a merger of states?
No, I'm not proposing a merger of states. We have a federal government only in name. In all practical purposes, we are a unitary government under military command and control system. We have just one constitution for the whole country. In the federal system, there are two tiers of government. The federal, we have its own constitution. The second tier, we have its own constitution. Be that is made, we now have 36 states. We have 774 local governments. Nigeria was subdivided into these small units when we have so much money. But now we don't have as much money, we have to change.
All right. Already, there doesn't seem to be a lot of support from the House of Representatives. Do you think that you will get the support that you need to get this bill moving? They are even saying it's not in the schedule of the House business.
It is not in the schedule of House business. The Nigerian National Assembly does its own thing the way it wishes without taking cognizance of the views of Nigerians. The National Assembly is fixated on incremental change in the Constitution, amend a little there, a little the other place, because they have 1 billion naira every legislative session to amend Constitution. So this Assembly now, in the next 4 years, they have 1 billion naira. They want to spend the money. They are not interested in one final solution to Nigerian problem of constitution. They want to just keep putting it in the agenda so that they can keep doing hearings.
But Aki, is that a fair position? They are representatives of this country. People elected them there. Would it be fair to say that they are not interested in the improvement of the country? I'll add another question to that because of time. The reason we're also having this conversation is because you are transmitting that, you're sending that bill to the president. Why, though, when it is a member bill and has not even been debated? Or are you tactically seeking his approval? Or is there already a collaboration with the president in respect of your move?
I'm a citizen of Nigeria. I have right to observe things that are not going well, and I can communicate with the president. The president is one individual, though he's the president, but it could be advised. It could be given opinion, and if the opinion is valid, if he's a very reasonable person, he will take the opinion. The point we are now in Nigeria is that things are not working. And my eyes are on 2027. If we don't change the system now, the electoral system where you need 100 million naira to get form for president, 50 million naira to get form for president, the whole society is alienated. We cannot continue like that. So the National Assembly, we expect them that they were elected, but in practical terms, are they behaving as if they were elected? Nigerians rose against their buying SUVs for 160 million, but they bought it without talking to anybody. They are not responsive. The bottom line is that we have a big battle in our hands. Nobody gives position up without a little push. We have to push them to do what is right. They will not do it on their own volition. In fact, no authority, no sovereign gives up power voluntarily. So the fight has just begun to change Nigeria. It's not going to be a tea party.
Okay, I would love for us to have more time to talk about this. I'm giving you an open invitation if you could join us on one slot on Tuesday at 5 p.m. to talk more extensively about your proposal and the possibility of it becoming a reality. But for now, do we have your, will you be coming, please?
Well, I'll be willing to engage with Nigerians. This is a very important matter that we cannot give up on, and it's a long marathon. It's not a sprint.
Great.
So many Nigerians will be interested, and I'm interested too.
We'll reach out to you on that, and I would urge our viewers, if you'd like to hear more about his proposal, do join us on Tuesday at 5 p.m. All right, thank you very much, Aki, for speaking with us. Moving on now, President Bola Tinubu has approved the appointment of Tamnimu Yakubu as the Director General of the Budget Office for the Federation following the expiration of the tenure of Ben Akabueze. Yakubu is an accomplished economist and was Chief Economic Advisor to the former president from 2007 to 2010, Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria from 2003 to 2007, and Commissioner of Budget, Finance, Budget and Economic Planning in Katsina State from 1999 to 2003. The new Director General of the Budget Office of the Federation holds a Master's of Business Administration degree in Finance from Wagner College in New York and a Bachelor of Science degree in Economics from the same institution. President Tinubu thanked the outgoing Director General Akabueze for his service and wishes him success in his future endeavors. Nigeria's Apex Court has reserved judgment in the suit filed by the federal government against the 36 states governors seeking full autonomy for the 774 local government areas in the country. Justice Garba Lawal announced the judgment will be reserved after the 7-man panel overseeing the suit had adopted the processes filed by the Attorney General of the Federation on behalf of the federal government. Marvelous Obomanu reports.
The case between Nigeria's federal government and state governments over the autonomy of the third tier of government, also known as local government, has gathered national attention in recent times. Many Nigerians have accused governors of stifling the performance of local governments by refusing to hand over allocated funds paid into the coffers of their respective states.
The same way Mr. President removed fuel subsidy, even when it was difficult for others to do, Mr. President has taken the bull by the horn to say, we will practice the true democratic process via the Constitution. We have 3 tiers of government. The local government system is the only system that will deepen democracy in the 774 local government. And we are saying enough is enough. Enough of the high-handedness. Democracy should be brought to the grassroots, and the people of the grassroots should feel the dividends of democracy. This is the hope that Bola Ahmed Tinubu promised Nigeria, and we are happy that he has brought this hope. No more dilly-dallying, no more going through the back door to stop this from happening. We believe our lords will do justice.
Most of them are in contravention of Section 7 sub 1 of the Constitution, which says that the system of local government shall be run by democratically elected government. So this attitude of governors thinking that local government chairmen are there at their whims and caprices has to stop. I'm elected as the governor, but he seizes allocation meant for me. He dissolves the council at will. So local government should not continue to be at the beck and call of the state governors. If the president sees the allocation, they will make a high mountain out of it.
As hearing of the suit continued, the federal government, through the Attorney General of the Federation, urged the Supreme Court to grant all reliefs it is seeking in its suit. However, the governors, through their respective state attorneys generals, opposed the request of the federal government.
The Supreme Court have heard the matter, and the position of the 36 AGs, we appeared in protest, and we await the outcome of the decision of the Supreme Court. When the judgment is read, you will know why we have appeared in protest. But like I said, the position of the 36 attorneys general is that we all appeared in protest.
Although the Supreme Court has reserved ruling to a date that will be communicated to the parties, the 774 local government chairmen in Nigeria will be hoping that these judgments will be in their favor and they will take charge of their funding and deliver on their constitutional mandate to the people at the grassroots. In Abuja for News Central, Marvelous Obomman.
The Court of Appeal has set aside contempt proceedings initiated by the former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, against the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Olanipekun Olukoyede. In a unanimous judgment read by Justice Joseph Oyewole, he set aside the proceedings while overruling the respondents' preliminary objections, citing technicalities. The appeal court held that the trial judge failed to extend the orders of the 9th February in its final judgment of April 17. He said the second issue raised by the former governor on the interim order had become an academic exercise. The appellate court had earlier granted the ex parte motion for stay of contempt proceedings filed against Olukoyede by ex-governor Bello. Justice Liban Mohammed of the Federal High Court, Kano State, has declared that the dethroned emir, Aminu Ado Bayero, has the right to be heard. The case filed by the kingmaker, Aminu Baba Dan Agundi, is that of a fundamental human rights case in the emirate tussle. The development comes days after a Kano State High Court ordered substituted service on Bayero and 4 other emirs in a case filed by the Kano State government to restrain them from parading themselves as emirs. Our correspondent, Emmanuel Bagudu, who is monitoring the development, will bring us updates in subsequent bulletins. Away from the courts for a bit, to security matters now. Earlier today, News Central held a town hall meeting in Jos Plateau State to address the saddening deaths and conflicts plaguing some communities there. News Central's Chidimma Ona compiled this report.
Nigeria's Middle Belt state, known for its mining production, has witnessed several devastating conflicts for decades. Plateau State, with an estimated 3 million people, is known for playing a vital role in the country's prosperous economy with its exportation of tin and columbite. However, recurring tragedies over the years have posed a threat to indigents.
What we have witnessed is a village will be attacked. Those that are killed. Those that are maimed. Then those that remain will have to run to safety. The next day, the attackers will come and occupy the village and live, and they have been living there. That is what has been happening.
is purely an act of terrorism. Though at the onset, it was more of a religious crisis from 2001, but when it gets to 2010, from that point, particularly 2015, it was more of an ethnic cleansing mission.
Cutting from the government herself, the security agencies are on their various formations, the community leaders, the community itself, everybody has something to say and have something to do to maintain peace. If you see any attack, somebody has not done his job, or somebody did his job wrongly.
The first recorded incident of crisis occurred in 1994. Since then, over 4,486 deaths have been recorded, ravaging some communities to the ground. At the event, security officials and critical stakeholders amplified the indigenous call for community-driven solutions.
Sometimes things that are happening somewhere in other location, people will post it on the net, on internet, everywhere, and be sharing it that it is happening just now in the plateau. We must be sincere with ourselves. Nobody will solve your problem with you. Whether you send all those things to them, they will not come here to solve the problem. It's you on the ground.
There is a commitment from the governor that myself and my team will meet with the governor in the shortest possible time, and our intention and my personal commitment on behalf of New Central is that we will be back here as soon as possible to make sure that we dig deeper in this conversation and we find a solution.
As a call for justice, rehabilitation, and compensation rings loud, New Central TV will continue to advocate for justice within its capacity.
If you want to catch up on the conversations and submissions at the Plateau Town Hall meeting, please find our YouTube channel and you'll see all the clips. Coming up, federal government warns Labour of mass sacking over new minimum wage demands. We will bring you details after the break. If you've just joined us, you're watching Tonight. A reminder of our top stories. President Tinubu gets bill proposing return to regional government on Friday. Appeal court quashes Yahaya Bello's suit against EFCC boss. Federal government warns Labour of mass sacking over new minimum wage demands. South Africa reports second Mpox death. Thank you for staying with us. The federal government of Nigeria has advised organized labor to consider the broader economic implications of its push for what it called an unrealistic higher national minimum wage. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, who gave the admonition while speaking at the opening of the 2024 Synod of the Charismatic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria in Abuja, noted that the 250,000 naira minimum wage demanded by labor could undermine the economy, lead to mass retrenchment of workers, and jeopardize the welfare of Nigerians. The minister emphasized the importance of a realistic wage system that safeguards against mass retrenchment while addressing workers' needs. To discuss this now, I'm joined by Chartered Accountant Aki Fatunke. Aki, it's good to see you again. Thank you for joining us. Could a 250,000 naira minimum wage, as demanded by labor, undermine the economy and lead to mass retrenchment?
Well, as somebody who has been in the middle of labor relations, human relations, to call it, vis-a-vis what companies and employers can pay. I can say that on the deck, it appears very true that 250,000 naira will jeopardize many. Please don't forget that when you are talking about labor here, we're not just talking about the people in the public or civil service. We are talking in the SMEs, talking about people in the private sector, and then we are talking about the subnationals. I would rather say intelligibly, in my view, that 250,000 naira is possible. 1 million naira is possible, as long as we collectively agree that other areas of governance, judiciary, medical, education, security votes will naturally now be cut into about a quarter.
Yeah, but if you're looking at it with the current economic situation, right? The government is proposing a 62,000 naira minimum wage as against the 250,000 naira. Will this 62,000 naira not come from somewhere as well? And would that be preferable and better save the economy? Or, I know I'm putting too many questions at the same time, but I think you get it. Will this, just take that question, I've lost my train of thought.
Listen, it is minimum wage. It is not a living wage. It is minimum entry wage, by which will be a benchmark that for the least paid in the civil service and other areas will try. It's a good question you asked, and I understand your question very correctly. A 62,500, a 62,000 is easier load. Still going to be a load because many people will still have to find the best fit and do downsizing. But it's better fit than a 250,000. A 250,000 relatively better than 600,000 that was being asked before. Beyond all of this, Felicity, is a statement which I think I agree with Labour. So much sufferings in the land. Few people are smiling, are not feeling the heat, and expecting others to feel the heat. If that is the intention of Labour, I think that has relatively been achieved. But now that we are getting, to the front lines, where it needs to be really said, dotting the I's and crossing the T's, many of the stakeholders say they cannot afford because they are not prepared, basically, to offload a lot of the fats that they have in their middles and in their cheeks and a lot of the things that we need in terms of governance. Then I dare say, better than never, in my opinion. Yes, I know a particular state government is saying that they are going to be doing that, and those state governments is saying that they can do that. We need to see sustainability. Yes, we need to see sustainability, and if that is not in the picture, I want to say no, it's not going to be realistic, and there is no reason why the federal government will not necessarily listen to Labour. I also listen to a person like Soludo, who says, Mr. President, you do it. It's going to be your responsibility. It's going to be your headache. It's not going to be the headache of SMEs. It's not going to be the headache of state governments. A mean thing to say, but sometimes it becomes realistic.
I think. The part of the question I wanted to ask you was, what is it's been a minute that the president asked for the breakdown of what it will cost to bring a figure for the new minimum wage. Shouldn't they have maybe dropped a figure that seems a little more acceptable to Labour? Meet them, even if it's not halfway, but somewhere that seems reasonable, as a lot of persons have said. If you can answer that quickly, and then I have one more question, we'll wrap up.
Felicity, what is midpoint? What is the median? Statistics is lies upon lies, depending on how you want to look at it. As far as I am concerned, I repeat, we are talking about minimum wage. We are not talking about living wage. Talking about living wage, 250 cannot do an average household. I mean, it is the truth. So the minimum wage, and I see a situation where government, okay, the tripartite committee have come, and after a wobbling and fumbling from 50 to 60, okay, we are hearing until it is made official that it has to be 62. Again, it's just a contribution towards minimizing the pains and the angst. So many other things that needs to be done that can help to assuage the pains of the average worker. Indeed.
That was actually going to be my next question. Holistic relief that the minister talked about, the CNG, but I'm told that's all the time we have for this conversation. So thank you very much. I'm hoping we'll have you again soon.
Always, Felicity. There are so many ways that we can skin a cat.
Yeah, yes.
Deep thinking. Yes. CNG and so many others. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, so thank you for giving us your time. Let's move on now to health matters. In a bid to enhance healthcare access for displaced persons in host communities in northeast Nigeria, the International Committee of the Red Cross has inaugurated a new 20-bed capacity primary health care center in Mungunu town of Borno State. The health facility, constructed by the ICRC, is already serving both internally displaced persons as well as host communities in the area, targeting to improve health care for over 80,000 people. My colleague, Umaru Kirawa, covered the report and now joins us in the studio. Hello, Umaru.
Yes, good evening, Felicity.
Good evening. The health facility is already serving both the internally displaced and host communities. What more can you tell us about the project?
Well, the project to many, it's a right peg and the right hole, taking into consideration the needs and, of course, the aspirations of the people of the area, taking into consideration the years of insurgency. Now the people, because of their resilience and, of course, the hope, they are now recovering. And, of course, health is one basic needs that it is required. And because of the number of people, there's overstretched facilities and many more. And this primary health center is seen as a welcome development that will address most of their needs. However, we can take a look at the report to see further about the health intervention by the ICRC in Manguno.
Manguno town is a settlement for millions of people in Nigeria's northeastern state of Borno. The years of conflict that ravaged the region forced many families to seek safety and settle in Manguno town, among others. This has overstretched facilities, which demands intervention.
Kazi zo marambe kiam laso litari lasana laso leno hala yendo litari reskuro se garzana faida suri mare chinzo maba kararo kara.
We do this in cooperation with the Nigerian Red Cross Society, and we also work to prevent suffering by promoting and strengthening humanitarian law and universal humanitarian principles.
The inauguration of this new health center aims to provide emergency care while enhancing overall quality of health care offered to the communities.
Da muna karanci asibiti, amma asibitin da Red Cross ya gina wannan. Kalan shi ma ni ban taba gani ba.
Litari de zuktina na garo amda narin shirin chinza so ndai wajin so awala so do isu litari shari isu andero chonde. Isu da litari shari fondena ya sorolan isu no wende fuluzuna.
I thank you very much for all this support, and I am sure the local government will also do its own effort to provide the health facility and at the same time maintain its staff and the activities very well.
The healthcare facility provides a wide range of services to the people around the clock.
is now comprehensive primary healthcare services, which includes the outpatient consultation, inpatient admissions for some cases that need some observation, full package sexual and reproductive health, which includes antenatal care, postnatal care, delivery services, and then some sexual violence cases management.
Our assistance activities include enhancing the livelihoods of affected populations through agricultural and livelihood projects. We also improve access to drinkable water by digging boreholes and installing water supply systems and treatment plants.
By supporting the primary health care, which is the first contact of the patient, the intervention underscores the quest to provide immediate services to the people for enhanced health.
All right, Umar, that was a very good report. But did they talk about sustainability, ensuring that this doesn't end anytime soon, that it continues to serve the people?
Well, if you heard what the community leader for Manguno is speaking about, and of course, the representative of the chairman, they are talking about the ownership of the project, which they said the local government will be maintaining the project with the support of the International Committee of the Red Cross. So there is that issue of sustainability. And most importantly, the community are happy with the intervention, which will go a long way.
It definitely will go a long way. Yeah. Thank you very much for speaking with us.
Thank you.
Right, still ahead on the news. Sadly, South Africa reported second Mpox death. We'll tell you about this when we return. Thank you for staying with us. The news continues in Southern Africa, where a second person has died in South Africa this week from the viral infection Mpox, says the Ministry of Health, less than 24 hours after it announced the first death. Previously known as monkeypox, Mpox is a viral illness transmitted through close contact with infected humans or animals, as well as via materials such as contaminated shits. In July 2022, the World Health Organization, WHO, declared a global health emergency, which lasted for 10 months. And Thursday, South Africa's government said the second person who died was a 38-year-old man. He was admitted to hospital in KwaZulu-Natal province with extensive lesions, headache, fatigue, oral ulcer, muscle pain, and a sore throat. He tested positive for Mpox on Wednesday. Let's now go over to our business desk for today's business stories.
Business news in association with Money Master PSB, the easy way to master your money.
African countries have been urged to take advantage of benefits in the African Continental Free Trade Agreement protocols to boost their economies and leapfrog food security in the sub-Saharan region. This is coming on the heels of the revelation that Africa currently has the lowest inter-regional trade across the world, which represents only about 13% of the continent's global trade, compared to Asia's 60%. The charge was part of the resolutions reached at the just concluded Africa Economic Summit 2024 with the theme Africa riding the crest of global economic and political volatility. A communique which was signed by the president of the Africa Economic Summit 2024, Dr. Sam Owaboa, and the Chief Executive Officer of the Africa Economic Summit Group, Dr. Brian Reuben, and made available to journalists on Thursday in Abakaliki, said there was an urgent need for African countries to have a global outlook and aggravate sufficient resources to compete favorably with others, such as the United States of America, China, and India, among others. Meanwhile, African pay TV operator MultiChoice Group has blamed Nigeria's harsh economic condition as active DSTV subscribers in the country declined by 18%. The company stated this in its financial results for the year ended March 31, 2024. It said the decline in Nigeria affected its overall subscriber database, leading to a 9% decline for the year. While the total subscription figure for Nigeria is not stated, as it is lumped with other operating units outside of South Africa, tagged as Rest of Africa. MultiChoice reported that the 18% decline in Nigeria brought the ROA's total active subscribers down by 13% to 8.1 million from 9.3 million in 2023. The pay TV company stated that the Nigerian economy and consumers faced persistent challenges through financial year 2024. The removal of fuel subsidies, sharp currency depreciation with the official naira having in value, inflation climbing to over 30%, and higher immigration of the middle and upper class drove an 18% year-on-year decline in active subscribers. Prices of goods and services in the month of May rose by an average of 3.2%, a record high over the last 10 months, the Ghana Statistical Service has announced. This was despite overall inflation between May 2023 and May 2024, recording a slowdown to 23.1%, the lowest yearly inflationary figure in 26 months since March 2022. Although the 23.1% yearly inflation recorded in May is the second consecutive fall in headline inflation after the country recorded 25.8% and 25.0% for March 2024 and April 2024. The 3.2% monthly inflationary rate is the third consecutive rise in the monthly figure and a significant jump from the 1.8% recorded a month prior. Head of the Ghana Statistical Service, Professor Samuel Kobina Anim, explained that recent transport fare hikes can be attributed to the spike in the month-on-month inflation of May 2024.
Business News in association with Money Master PSB, the easy way to master your money.
Up next is sports.
Sports Update, brought to you by Corn Oil. Corn Oil, we go the extra mile.
In the world of sport, in the aftermath of Nigeria's shock defeat to Benin Republic in the 2026 World Cup qualifiers, the president of the Nigerian Football Federation, Ibrahim Gusau, has revealed that measures are being taken to address the team woes and secure qualification for the prestigious tournament. Speaking after a meeting with the Minister of Sport Development, John Eno, Gusau emphasized that qualification for the World Cup remains a realistic goal. However, he refused to guarantee the future of Super Eagles coach Finidi George, who was appointed in April.
It's a very sad moment for Nigerian football. We can't run away from that. But all I want to assure you that is that we are working tirelessly in conjunction with the minister to see that we come out with some holistic measures that will change the pace of the entire system so that we can move forward. Don't forget, it's still possible and we are going to make it. And I just want to assure you that we are going to fight it to the letter, and Nigeria will qualify to the World Cup. This is not something that I would just say it now, but very soon you are going to see the measures that NFF will come out with, and by the grace of God, those measures that we are going to take will lead us to qualify to the next World Cup.
The Super Eagles of Nigeria on Monday, 10th of June, were defeated 2-1 by Benin Republic in the fourth round of the 2026 World Cup qualifiers. 3 days earlier, the team played a 1-1 draw with Bafana Bafana of South Africa in the third round of the qualifiers. The poor results mean that Nigeria is now placed 5th in the 6-team table with 6 games left to play, drawing 3 and losing 1. The Nigerian Premier Football League has taken decisive action against referee Bashir Saidu from Sokoto State following a controversial decision on yesterday's Matchday 36 fixture between Shooting Stars and Enugu Rangers at the Lake on Salami Stadium in Ibadan.
Saidu's failure to award a potential penalty in a game that has sparked widespread outrage, leading many to question his judgment and integrity of officiating. As a result, the refereeing development unit of the Nigerian Football Federation today, in an official statement, confirmed that Saidu, who has officiated in the league for several years, has been removed from his duties in the MPFL indefinitely. Nigeria will face Mauritania in the 2024 Beach Soccer African Cup of Nations qualifier. The draw ceremony took place in the headquarters of the Confederation of African Football (CAF) on Thursday. CAF announced the pairings on its X handle. In another pairing, defending champion Senegal will be up against Guinea, while Angola will face Morocco. Ghana will also do battle with Côte d'Ivoire. The other game in the qualifiers are Tanzania versus Uganda, Seychelles against Mozambique, and Burundi will face Malawi. The first leg of the qualifiers are billed for 19 to 21 July 2024, while the second legs will hold between 26 to 28 July. Finally, in the world of sport, two-time champion Rafael Nadal will not play at the Wimbledon this year in order to focus on the Olympics in Paris. The 38-year-old Spaniard said he will compete in a clay court event in Sweden as preparation for the Olympic tennis tournament, which begins on 27 of July. Wimbledon, where Nadal won 2008 and 2010, starts on July 1st, 2024. Nadal, a 22-time Grand Slam champion, said he was saddened to be missing the great atmosphere of Wimbledon, which will always be in his heart. Following his first-round exit from the French Open last month, Nadal said his returning to clay at the Roland Garros at the Olympics was now his main target. And that's it in the world of sport. I am Onyinyechi Obar.
Sports Update, brought to you by Corn Oil. Corn Oil, we go the extra mile.
Let's now bring you some entertainment stories.
Entertainment news in association with Glow Unlimited.
On entertainment news, Action Extreme CEO Chi Kyung-chung has completed production of the upcoming action thriller Son of the Soil. The film stars British-Nigerian actor Raz Adoti in the lead role alongside Ireti Dol and Damilola Ogunsi. Chung expressed excitement about working in Nigeria for the first time, praising the cast and crew and the country's dynamic landscapes and rich culture. Son of the Soil follows the story of a former Nigerian soldier hunted by his past, who returns to Nigeria after his sister's tragic death, seeking vengeance and redemption. The film, co-produced by Chung, a Nigerian-based Wingonia Ikpi, features a diverse cast and is written by Adoti. Release details are yet to be announced. Usher Raymond, a Grammy-winning artist, made a surprise appearance on Capitol Hill to advocate for making Medicare's diabetes prevention program more accessible, particularly focusing on type 1 diabetes screening. His personal connection, as his son, Cinco, was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes in 2014, motivated his advocacy efforts. Throughout the day, he engaged with lawmakers discussing the Screen for Type 1 Diabetes Act, aimed at increasing awareness and early detection of the disease. According to the Center of Disease Control and Prevention, type 1 diabetes was once called insulin-dependent or juvenile diabetes, and it often develops in children, teens, and young adults, but it can be at any age. That's all on entertainment tonight.
Entertainment news in association with Glow Unlimited.
And that is all tonight. But before we go, let's take a recap of our major stories. President Tinubu gets bill proposing return to regional government on Friday. Appeal court has quashed Yahya Bello's suit against EFCC boss. Also in the news, federal government has warned Labour of mass sacking over new minimum wage demands. And from South Africa, it's reported that the second Mpox death has occurred. Do send your eyewitness reports to the number showing now on your screen. You can follow us on social media, that's at News Central TV. You can watch live on DSTV channel 422, Star Times channel 274, Avo TV, and on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.